That's a fee that includes up to 2 price estimates, independent cost estimates, and also there's no other reimbursables. One of the things that was very attractive about the proposal is that mileage, any of those odd little things, that office work that you sometimes have as add-ons to a contract, all of that is included. But that really just tells you about the process. I would let these gentlemen introduce themselves and talk to you a little bit about the company, because it's a very fine company.
Thank you.
Well, my name is Pat Saida. I'm the president of Municipal Building Consultants. I founded the company and actually founded the OPM process back in 1979. We're delighted with the assignment. Chuck Adam is my associate. Chuck will be the project manager. I'll be the project executive, and we're the 2 individuals that will be working on the project right up through scope and budget agreement, which we anticipate we'll get to somewhere in the fall of next year. The next step for us, obviously, is to start to get into the inner workings of the assignment, really dig into the issues, and then prepare an RFP for the architectural services, who will be a very vital part of the team. I'm very excited about this project. I've got a couple of warm spots for Georgetown. When I got married, my first residence, first house I bought was in Georgetown. We had 3 children here, and when the house got too big, we had to obviously find a piece of land and build another place. But we have a very warm spot for Georgetown. I also participated in building the original Pembroke School, so I know an awful lot about that school. And I can tell you some stories about a lot of the exciting procedures in getting that school done, and going out and laying out that building in 2 feet of snow like we had this year when we first went out to lay it out. Yes.
Those were funny.
And that's right. And you can also tell I'm a pack rat, because you've got some construction photographs there. That's right. But no, we're very excited about it. And again, like I said, I started this whole concept of project management for municipalities while I was working for the construction firm. And we gave it its own identity in '87. And it really has become, it's become state of the art. And of course, statutorily now you have to have an OPM, and there were communities hiring us long before it was mandated by statute. So we, again, like I said, we're very, very happy to be involved with the town. We feel like we're being introduced to members of the family, and we look forward to a real pleasant professional relationship.
Great. Well, thank you both for coming in. We appreciate it. And I understand that we had a little glitch, but we'll just make it one big motion to cover everything.
Yes.
For the
And again,
MSBA.
Kevin Sullivan did not, he said, it's not a problem. He said, just if you do something like this, it'll just cover yourselves.
Okay, we'll make sure Laura gets a hard copy of
Oh,
this motion,
absolutely.
because it is long.
Absolutely.
Does anyone have any questions? I love the pictures.
I was just saying,
of the
pictures
Pembroke,
would
and the
be
pictures of the other schools that you've done locally. I mean, it's impressive.
Yeah, well-
We all drive past the North Andover High School and look at it.
Yeah,
See how beautiful it is.
No,
We know it's
like
half
I said,
empty
we
now
have,
because
we have,
staff
like I
left,
said,
but-
we've done quite
The building's
a
pretty.
number of schools that we've done in the area, so, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. So thank you.
I'll be selling 8x10 glossies in the foyer after the meeting.
Of the Pembroke pictures?
Yeah.
Are they autographed?
Okay, so the chair will entertain a motion that the school committee approve of the request for qualification documents advertised and issued to select an owner's project manager, the selection committee described therein, and the process used to determine the ranking of respondents to the RFQ, as well as recommending to the MSBA that the Municipal Building Consultants, Inc. be named as the owner's project manager for the Pembroke feasibility study at a fee not to exceed $109,440.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Any more discussion? There being none, all those, the chair will entertain a motion. Well, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, well, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Patience and for waiting.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It was
we're
very
sorry.
informative, yes.
See what you're getting into?
See you again Monday night?
Yeah.
We will, Monday night, yes.
Monday night.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh,
Same thing.
They do the same thing as select.
okay, thank you. Sorry.
All right, moving on to the administration. Is there anything you wish to
No,
report?
no, I think we'll
Move right on.
forward.
Any questions, comments about the information, superintendent's information? Oh, okay. Terry, you don't have anything else?
I have nothing else.
Subcommittee reports?
No, I think we're
Budget and
kind of in
finance,
the thick of
we're-
it right now.
Governance, we do need to set up a meeting because we just received apparently some new updated information and policies from MASC, so we will schedule that once everyone's back in the country. Well, yeah, two of our members are out of the country at the moment. Negotiating, Dave?
We did have a meeting with the union for the custodians, and we have a couple more meetings scheduled, but I don't remember the dates offhand, so.
When we do the budget.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I think we have 2 or 3
I think we have two
more-
scheduled.
Two scheduled
Yeah,
meetings.
March 15th, you have them in the, on the agenda, March 15th and April 5th, actually in April 26th, we have 3.
right.
So I thought we had 3, yeah.
And I will be here this Tuesday, I thought.
Oh, okay, you weren't sure.
I rearranged, so I'm here, so
Great.
that should be fine.
Okay, that's it.
That's it? All right, moving on. Wait a minute. I want to move something else too, while we're here.
I'm gonna move the
I'm just,
donations.
I'm just gonna move the donations up before we get back into the
Go ahead.
budget discussion, which is the new business. Any objection?
Nope.
All right, Carol, do you want to talk about that? The 2 donations to the library, or can we go through them?
Yeah, the first one is, was given to, the middle high school. The Georgetown Women's Club donated $1,822 for the Georgetown Middle High School Media Center. And I encourage you to accept this donation with gratitude. So there's a motion in your yellow, in your orange notes if you want to
Any-
use it.
All right. Chair will entertain a motion to accept the donation of $1,822 from the Georgetown Women's Club for the use of the Georgetown Middle High School Media Center with gratitude.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Any more discussion? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we also have a,
We have a donation from the Georgetown PTA to the Pembroke Grade 2 team in the amount of $660 for the purchase of an Elmo document camera.
can I just ask, is that like a scanner type?
Donna,
Camera?
the
The Elmo
Elmo
camera?
document camera, what is it? How does it work?
How does it work? It's a kind of like a fancy overhead.
Overhead
It is,
projector. You
okay,
put the
that's
book,
what I-
you put the book down.
Right.
It sees things 3-dimensionally. So if you're working on student work, you just put it under the camera and now you can correct it. Or if you just want to put in a 3-dimensional mathematical shape, they can see all sides. If you're going to do a science experiment, they can see it immediately up on the whiteboard.
That's great.
Wow.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Okay, the chair will entertain a motion to accept the donation of $660 from the Georgetown PTA for the purchase of an Elmo document camera for the 2nd grade team with gratitude.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion, second. Any more discussion? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Now we will go back to the old business, which is the budget discussion. So, I appreciate the discussion that took place last week while I was away.
Did you see it?
Thank you both.
See the meeting?
No, but I
Okay.
have had a lot of discussion
Okay.
about the meeting.
Okay.
So I am, I think, pretty caught up. What we really need to look at is, it's my understanding that you took the cut list and you reduced the 872,089 and made cuts of 257, 156, which are now not shaded on this new document that was in the packet for tonight. So everything that is shaded, we are going to
We are
attempt
not.
to keep, we're not cutting right now.
For the purpose of presentation. of
Going
our
to the
budget.
FinCom, we will then go to the FinCom with a $642,642, which is a pretty funny number,
We were
above the net school spending requirement. With the net school spending requirement, which is what we were charged with by the town. Well, really, we were asked to level fund, but we can't because net school spending is higher. So we're looking at 11,550,884, adding in the 642, we're going to go to FinCom with a budget of 12,165,797, which is a 5.5% increase. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That's correct. But that is, just for our own edification, that's less than the money we received in stimulus last year.
Oh, yeah, much
So
less.
we're, if you look apples to apples, we actually are, I'm gonna say $70,000 lower than what we got last year.
Approximately.
And we're cutting.
And we're cutting.
And we're still cutting.
And we're still cutting. So, yes, it is 6%, almost 6% higher than what we asked, than what we had last year from the town support, but dollars, apples to apples, it's low.
Okay, now my concern is, I'm gonna go sit in front of the FinCom next Wednesday night and say, this is our number. We cannot live with these cuts. They're not acceptable. This is our belief. And they're going to say, thank you, we agree, but your number is still 11,558.84. So at that point, our option is to go for an override of some sort. But we can, we can talk about it. Well, we will talk about it more. I'm not going to get into specifics about an override right now, but I do need to take a vote, I believe, for us to do a placeholder, because the town warrant closes Monday night at the selectmen's meeting. So I would like to have specific language written up, hopefully by tomorrow, and I can help. I'll write it and I will submit it, but I don't know where the language would be
To put a,
for the placeholder, and I'm not going to put in a specific amount because we don't have to do that yet.
nor do we have the ability to do that.
We haven't voted. We haven't talked about it. We're three of us tonight. I'm not comfortable doing anything without at least another member here. Preferably all five of us here. And we will discuss it, but what we are going to need to discuss is what is that number going to be? And that's something that we need to talk about, and it's something that's important for the town to listen to. Because we can look at a 642 override, which will cut, supplies and teachers. It will cut
The fees will.
fees. Well, fees are going to increase but I have a very bad feeling that the fees are going to have to go up no matter what we do, unless we do some kind of massive override. We can also go back with an override of 872, which would save everything on this list and keep us where we are right now, not moving forward, not adding technology. We're still going to have to cut curriculum at the high school because our computers can't run the programs that the curriculum requires us to have. We can look at 1.5, which is technically really the deficit that we have, but because we made cuts prior to this list, we came down to this. Or we can look at what the appetite is for a massive override this year, and then how that's going to impact the new school next year. These are decisions that we have to talk about. These are decisions that we as a group can look at. Obviously, we would greatly appreciate impact from parents, but again, the parent group isn't, we're preaching to the choir. Just like you're talking to us, we are in the same exact boat and we feel the same way as all of you do. It's everybody else that we need to get involved. So that'll have to be a discussion for another night, but I do want to have a motion here to at least go forward with a placeholder.
I think
You
we
both
need
agree
to.
with that?
No, I absolutely agree. I think if we agree that we're going to at least go with a number higher than level funded, then our number for an override is somewhere between, the 642 and massive. It's somewhere in there is what we're gonna have to determine, and that's just gonna take some work and some figuring out where people's appetites are.
And if and to put a little bit of perspective on this, our fees are not going to go down, our fees are going to go up. Sports could go up as high as $600 per sport with no family cap. Activity fees, because the teachers all have to, a teacher has to cover an activity, a group, an extracurricular group, drama club, or whatever it happens to be. They have a contract that get paid a stipend because it's extra work for them. That money, that stipend would have to then be covered by the students. Right now we have a $50 activity fee one time that covers however many clubs you want to be in. Next year, if it costs $1,500 for a teacher to cover or to be an advisor for a club, you have to if you get 50 kids, or you get 100 kids, your cost is going to be a lot less than if you have 4. And if you can't cover it, then we can't run it. And it will be the same way with the sports. If we can't cover the costs, they can't run. And I'm looking around the room, I don't see a lot of parents with kids in the high school, other than Dave.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and then
There's
in
a
the back.
couple.
Yeah.
Okay, good,
Okay.
yeah.
Just so, when we had this discussion, you just probably watched a copy of last week's
Well,
meeting.
and I've
'cause
heard, and we're still waiting on numbers.
I know, I just wanted to clarify for you, since you weren't here last
Mhm.
week, that my starting point with this budget was, George started it with, we gotta negotiate because we can only give what the town has to spend. And I said, this is a level services budget. I'll say it again, it seems reasonable to me. You're not adding a lot of stuff, but the one thing I think, and we found in the accreditation meeting also, I think if you go with self-funding the athletic department at the fees that you're talking about, you're gonna decimate the athletic program.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not, to me, that's not acceptable in a public school.
No, it's, of course it's not acceptable.